welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today it is, what is today? Today is October 2nd, 1st or 2nd. I don't know when this is going up, but it is Monday, so this is the 2nd. Okay, so we are going to talk about all of the palettes that I used in September. Yes, and no, I didn't do 30 palettes in 30 days. Like I have the last couple of months, I did 31 palettes in 31 days, but I did get close. I think I used 27 palettes in 30 days. So that's something to be said for that. So I have ranked them from the ones I like the least to the one I like the best. And if you want to see what palettes I used and how I ranked them, then hang tight because we are getting right into it. Okay, I've got my tablet here where I have written down notes throughout the month of what I thought of some of these palettes and put them into order here. Some of the palettes I pulled out for Shop My Stash. Some of the palettes I pulled out for work. And some of the palettes I pulled out for palette roulette. And some of the palettes I just pulled because I wanted to use them. So that is what we're working with today. The first palette that is coming in at the bottom is the Delancey Dolphin palette here. And this is what she looks like right here. I'm not gonna try. In these videos, I tend to speak a lot about the palettes at the bottom, and then I tend to rush the palettes at the top. So I'm going to try to not to spend talking too much about each palette so we can get through this quicker. So this palette is, let's say I have the Oceanic palette by Ace Beauté. I like that better than this palette. This palette is probably gonna get decluttered. This is a very fussy palette. Some of the shades, like this one, they don't want to show up very well, and the colors just don't blend out that well. You have to pack on the mattes to make it work. I can make the look come out good, but it's just very, like I said, very, very fussy. I think, like I said, I have the Oceanic palette and has very similar shades to it, so I think I'm going to keep that one. This palette is the Ace Beauté Classical Paradise. I like this palette. I like it a lot. It's just the look I came up with this. I don't know. I just didn't do a very good look with it. And that's why I placed it so low. It's probably, next time I use it, I'll probably place it a lot higher. I don't know what I was thinking. I just didn't do a very good look with it. And, I don't know. I thought I really liked this palette. I thought, like I said, maybe I'll do a better look with it next time. I just missed the mark this time when I was doing the look this month with it. So it's a very beautiful palette. The formula is still great. It was just in the execution. Hopefully it'll turn out better next time. That's what I wrote on there. So that is why it was placed so low. The next palette I have in here is the Tres Arenas palette. What did I use? I think I used this for when Christine and I did the happy birthday video for Miss Sierra from the Sea. It's a beautiful color palette. Lots of pinks and purples, which you know that I like. But I'm not sure how often I would use it. I think I did a nice look, but not a very wearable look. And the blend, I said the blend is a little patchy, but workable. And that I love the pinks and purples. This is not a palette that I would use for everyday work looks. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I could get a work look out of this, but it's not one I would reach for my work looks. This would definitely be a collab palette maybe make something for Instagram looks. But I mean, the formula was just okay. The next palette I brought out, this was from Palette Roulette. This is the Lorella Scandal palette. Have it in upside down. This is what it looks like. I actually really like the look that I made with this, but I'm trying to remember the palette that I have that's very similar to it that I like a lot more. And I made a really nice nighttime look for it. I'm still trying to decide, is this going to get decluttered or not? It depends if I can find the palette that I like better than this palette. I'm just going to have to search around for or look through my list of palettes that I have in. When I'm looking for a palette, I will look at the list of palettes that I have in my, I have that spin the wheel, and I keep the list of palettes in that. So I'll have to look through that, think, do I have a palette similar to this? Like I said, I really liked this palette. I'm glad I gave it a second chance. But will I keep it? I don't know. Like I said, if I have one that's similar to it and then I like it better, I'm going to keep that one and declutter this one. So, and we're going to have to see about that. Okay, and at the next spot, we have a new collab palette from Saints, Angels, Sinners, and Slay Glam Box. This is the You're a Star palette. And this is what it looks like. I still want to make a purple look with these colors. And some of the shimmers in here are absolutely to die for. Really, especially this color right here. This Pleiades color. Oh my gosh. Definitely love that color. Absolutely. This sun color is really nice. I really want to try that color up there, that Pegasus color. And the mattes are just kind of nice. I don't know. They were really pigmented. I will give it that. They were okay as far as blendability goes. That's what I wrote on here. Not the most blendable, but this is a very pretty color story. I will give them that. I don't know. Does this make you think of fall? I don't know. It doesn't make me think of fall, but I don't know. Some people might get that feeling when they look at that color story. I don't know. It's really cute, and it's really cute on the outside too. So that's a cute palette. But I like other palettes better than that. Let's see. Let's talk about what I have on my eyes today. We have the Naked Wild Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette. And I absolutely like the look that I have on my eyes today. A lot better than some of the looks I've come up with in the past. I used this color here, this color, and this matte right here. Then I've got this one here in my lower lash line. And then I have this shimmer here, and this shimmer here right here, and then I have this turquoise shimmer in my inner corner. And I really like the look. It's just, the formula is just okay. I don't know. I'm thinking when I do my declutter, I'm thinking I'm going to keep it. I think it's unique enough to my collection. I said last time that it's probably not going to survive the declutter, but I think it actually just might. It just might make it through the declutter because I think I like it just that much. So we are going to, I like that. I like it a lot. We are going to see about that. The next palette I have is the Nubian by Juvia's Place. Where did this come from? Did I pick it from a shop, my stash? I don't remember. Did it come up in a palette roulette? It might have. I don't exactly remember, but this is what it looks. It might have been a palette roulette. This is what it looks like. It's a very nice neutral look, and yeah, I liked it just fine. Very nice formula. I like that it had a nice satin in there, and yeah, what did I say? Let me look at my notes. Okay, I said a cute little neutral palette. I could get a couple of good looks out of it, though I felt like doing an all matte. Okay, I did an all matte look with it. Good pigmentation and formulation, nice shimmers, though I probably have these colors in other palettes. I'll have to check. Oh, okay, so maybe this might be up for declutter. I don't know. We will have to see about that. I didn't have it in my declutter, on my declutter list, to be decluttered list. I don't, we will have to see about that one. Okay, next up, I have the this is something I bought at the drugstore, is the Revolution. It is the Forever Flawless Good Vibes, Chill Vibes. And I used this a couple of times, actually. And it is not the most pigmented, but I actually appreciated that because I did use this for work and it made a nice light look that I did appreciate for work. And I do appreciate palettes like this. It was only about $15 for the palette, so I didn't expect to get a very pigmented look from it, but it is very, very pretty. I liked it quite a bit. It reminds me a lot of another palette I'm gonna show you in just a couple of minutes here. That is a lot more pigmented. And it does, out of nowhere, it has this silver shade here that I don't think really goes with everything. But I like the peaches and the greens and the browns all together here in this little palette. It makes for a nice little color story. I like it. And it is a little more pigmented than it looks. It is. And there are more color stories in that Forever Flawless line. They had more at the drugstore at the Walgreens that I went to. I might pick up more of those. They seem pretty nice. Okay, the next is something that I got in my ice cream beauty bag. The Your Star palette I got in my Slay Glam box. This is what I got in my ice cream beauty box. It is the Secret Grove by Gourmand Girls and Ice Cream Beauty. That is such a cute little package. Cute little packaging there. And this is what it looks like here. I love this color story. This reminds me more of fall time. And it only has two duochrome shimmers in there, which I think are very, very pretty. I like this color story, but it's a little different. These two colors and these two colors are very much the same. And it's just a very interesting color story, but it makes for some really nice looks. I really like it. It's very pigmented, very blendable, very nice. I really like this palette a lot. And I don't know, should I pull it out for next month too? I'd really like to work with it some more. Okay, another palette that I pulled to use for work was the Morphe 35U Gilded Desert palette. And this is what it looks like. It kind of reminds me of summertime, of late summertime. I got those golds, those warm-toned browns. This is a good palette to use for work. Lots of possibilities, yes. As far as Morphe palettes goes, this one doesn't dupe itself too much in the same palette, so I really appreciate that. It is a good formula. Some of the shades do blend better than others, though, I noticed. Out of the times that I've used this, I did like one night I was really nervous. So, because I was going to work, I was the night before I did a test run of my makeup, and I used some shades and they were not blending very well together. So I'm glad I did that test run, because the next day I used different colors and they blended a lot better together. So yeah, just know that about that palette. Some of the colors don't blend together as well as others. Okay, the palette, or more like the singles, the grouping of singles that remind me more of the Chill Vibes, Good Vibes, Chill Vibes palette. All of this came out first, was the singles from, I can never remember their name. What is their name? Sydney Grace. I had to look at the back of one of these. They do a lot of single shadows, but this was a group of singles they did together called In Mel's Memory for Mel Thompson. And this has a lot of browns, greens, and instead of peaches, they do pinks. So I did a look for work with these, and it came out really nice. I like these. I'm not the biggest Sydney Grace fan, like some people on the platform, but I do like the formula's okay. I'm not the one to go out and buy their singles, you know, every month they do a pack of singles and stuff like that. I'm not the one to go out and buy those every month. This is part of it too. All of these and all of these, just not these and not this one. So I do have some more of their singles, because I bought some of their mystery bags before, and those are okay, but this is a really nice set. It was about $60, and yeah, I would say for $60 it was worth it. But I put it in this Unearthly Cosmetics magnetic palette, and left room for more if I wanted to buy more single shades. I don't have a lot of single shades, but there we go. That's why I placed that on the list. Okay, for the next palette, I have the Urban Decay Naked Half Baked palette. I really love the way this looks on the outside. Again, this was for work. What I do for work was I made a different spin wheel palette and put a bunch of my palettes that are more appropriate for work on it, and I spin that palette to figure out what I'm gonna wear for work. And so this one came up and I wore it to work, and I can only come up with like one, maybe two looks with this palette, but more so just one look, but it's a really nice look, and that's why it is placed up here. And so yeah, I love taking this. I've taken this on, I've only been on a couple of trips really since I've gotten this palette, but I've taken this on both trips, and because of the size of it, and it's really been really useful on those trips. So yeah, I would probably take it on more trips too. Okay, the next palette is the Ace Beauté Serenity palette. I just got this palette and I really like it. It makes nice, really nice, what do you say, matte looks. Because it only has two shimmers, this one and this one. I don't remember, I used this for work, but I don't remember if I just made a matte look or a matte look with shimmers. Let me look at my notes. Okay, it doesn't say what look I did, but it does say it's a beautiful palette, good for matte looks that aren't too colorful, and a great Ace Beauté quality that is great for day or night looks. And yeah, so you can definitely use these darker colors to make a nice evening look for sure. But it does have some pinks, it does have some peaches, it does have some browns, it does have some beige colors in here, and it has this nice, it's called Zen, this nice kind of cream color to put in the corner of, in the inner corner highlight. So yeah, that makes a really, I'm glad I got, oh, I hope I didn't break anything there. It makes a really nice color. Okay, a nice palette. Okay, the next palette I have is a new palette from Nomad Cosmetics. It is the Ghost Town USA palette. And I have made about 3 looks with this. And I really I like this palette. But why isn't it placed so high? Because it makes some really dusty, muddy looks, I gotta tell you. Um, that's what I'm saying. It's just a little too dusty. The blues and the greens are very muted, and you can't mix them together without it looking really muddied up together. I mean, you gotta either do the blues or the greens. You can't do the blues and the greens. You gotta do the browns or the blues. You can't do the browns and the blues. You gotta do the greens or the browns. You can't do the greens and the browns. But you know what's really good in here are the shimmers. But I like shimmers you can lay down with a brush. These you have to use your fingers with. But they are really nice shimmers. I'm glad that they're not those hard packed shimmers. I'm making excuses for Nomad. They should be easy to put on. They should really be easy to put on shimmers, but they're not. You have to use your finger. But a lot of people like using their finger to put on shimmers. But I think they should be versatile. I think you should be able to put them on with a brush. But they are really pretty shimmers. They're really pretty shimmers. But the mattes are really dusty looking. But you can still make beautiful, if you make an all green look, if you make an all blue look, if you make an all brown look, you can make it look really good. So that's why I put it up as high as I did. So yeah, it's a really nice palette. Okay, next up I have the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. It's a really nice palette. I don't really like mixing these colors with these colors that much. I could probably do without those colors, to tell you the honest to God truth. This is nice to put into your inner corner, like this color right here. Put it into your inner corner highlight. But you don't have to do that. I like the palette a lot. It's not my favorite Natasha Denona palette, but it's very pretty. It has a great formula. Color story is kind of weird, but I made a nice look with it. And yeah, so I like Natasha Denona. What can I say? I like these colors. They are a nice warm tone colors, and then you got some cool tones over here to offset it if you want to. I've done looks where I did warm on top and cool on bottom as well. Kind of like what I did today. And yeah, really nice palette. Probably a palette that will always be in the middle towards the top. Okay, another new palette I got because it was on sale at, I was going to say Ulta, but it was Sephora, is the Bad Side Zodiac, the Earth palette. That represents Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. See, this is what happens when I talk fast. I start spitting and I start spitting out words that don't exist. Okay, this is what it looks like. A very nice color story. Kind of reminds me of that classical Paradise palette, but I made a lot nicer look with it this time around. I did a YouTube short with this one that did really well, and yeah, got a lot of views on that one. So I think I did a good job with this one. What did I say about it? Very surprised by this palette. I was surprised it was on sale after I used it. When I first got it, I was like, this is not going to be a good palette, because melt is very hit or miss. And this palette was only, I don't know, like $20. So I thought, well, I'll get it and see what it's like. And then when I got it, I was like, wow, why was this on sale? This is a really good palette. And it's so good. I could probably even make a wearable work look with this palette. So yeah, I was very impressed with it. Very impressed. Okay, the next is the Mini Sunset. I used this for a work look this last week. Yeah, really even use this color right here. It was very nice. It made a really pretty look. Love my Natasha Denona minis. Like I said, this is the Mini Sunset palette. And It's a nice little palette. Probably one of my favorites. What did I say? Yeah, I got a compliment on it too. It's probably, yeah, I said probably up there is one of my more favorite Natasha Denona minis. And then I have up here the mini Starlet palette. Probably, it's interesting that I put this above the mini Sunset because I wouldn't call this one of my favorite Natasha Denona minis. But I really did like the look I got with it. The thing is, I like this color story better. But how can I describe this? I don't know. I was just in the mood, and I really liked this. I was in a better mood the day I put this makeup on. But, yeah, I always think it's going to be pinker than what it's going to be. But this is a really light pink. And what did I say? It's nice overall. I don't think it's not as pink as I think it's going to be, but I was really in the mood for a cool toned look, and this really set it off for me. And I like the shimmer a lot. And right here, give me another month with these two palettes, and I'll probably switch them around. I'm just weird like that. I don't know what to say. Okay, the next palette, and I came up with a very pretty look. I pulled this out for Shop My Stash. This is my Passion in Paris look. It is from BH Cosmetics. I did a YouTube short with this one. A very, very pretty look. And what did I say? Fell in love with this palette all over again. Made the most iconic purple look with this. It is very appropriate for daytime. I wouldn't wear it as a work palette though. It's been a long time since I used this palette, and I need to bring it out more often. Yes. Like I said, I don't think I could make... I could probably make a work look with it, but I probably wouldn't pull this for work. I mean, if you put it in my hands and said make a work look with this, I probably could. But like I said, I probably wouldn't put it on my wheel of work palettes, if you know what I mean. So this is, I've had this for a little while, and it still works really, really well. Okay, up next, I have the Ace Beauté Falling For You palette. This is probably still one of my favorite Ace Beauté palettes. Love pulling this out in the fall time. I pulled this out for Shop My Stash and used it almost immediately. And I've always loved this palette colors. You would look at it and you would say, that is a weird color story. How do you make a look with that? But it works. These colors work together. They really do. And I just love this color story and awesome formula. I'm so glad that BoxyCharm, I got this through BoxyCharm, and I'm so glad that I was able to, because I absolutely love this. So yeah, something I bought from Ace Beauté a while. They were having a Labor Day sale, I think. Yeah, is this Flora palette. That's when I bought the Serenity palette too. And it has such pretty packaging on the outside. And yeah, this is one of their smaller palettes. And it's just another beautiful fall color story. I love fall color stories. Love the yellows and browns. I love yellows and browns together so much. Love that it has this red in here too. It has an amazing duochrome right there. One of these is a duochrome. And I can tell I'll be using this palette a lot in the future. Definitely. I'll wear this in the summertime. I'll wear this in the springtime. Any time of year. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, the next is one that I've had a while. It is a great work palette. It is the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions palette. I only have the first one. The second one and the third one, they look like, I don't know, like palettes I already have. So I don't need those two, and they're really expensive. So still love this palette. A great neutral go-to with the best inner corner highlight shade, which is, I guess this one right here is what I'm referring to. I have to be careful or this can really turn into a look if I remember correctly. I try to stay away from like this color right here because it will get dark and moody really quickly unless I'm looking for a nighttime look. So, and this is a really nice neutral palette, and it's very similar to another one I'm going to show you up here, but I wouldn't trade this one for the world. I really wouldn't. Although I don't like the packaging that much. Okay, I just wore this one the other day to work. It's the ColourPop Petals on Point. I got this one earlier this year, and I've been in love with this palette. It's probably one of my favorite ColourPop 9-pan palettes that they have, and I love a pink look. I love it so much, and this is probably one of my favorite pink colored palettes. I love a light pink look especially, and so glad I got it at the beginning of the year. It makes the most beautiful soft pink. I love soft pink, definitely, absolutely. And sometimes I don't want a bold eye look. Sometimes I just want a simple soft eye look, and this is definitely where I look to when I want that. Okay, I'm just throwing my palettes down, just throwing them down. Okay, the next palette is my Odin's Eye Hella palette, and this is what she looks like. I'm probably not going to be getting the Halloween palettes. One of the palettes I'm not interested in at all, and the other one looks so much like another palette I'm going to show you here in a second. So, and I'm not interested in the lip products. So I was debating whether to get the whole set or not, but I'm just probably not going to do it. I don't want to. I'm learning to not spend my money on products I already own. So I am just going to be happy here with my Hello palette in my hands. And yeah, I did use this to make a work look. And yeah, I used colors from up here and here. I've been using those colors more often. I use this color for an inner corner highlight every time I use this palette. And I don't use the pinks as much. I'm not as much into these kinds of pinks. But sometimes I will. Sometimes when I'm doing a collab or when I am doing an Instagram look or something like that, I will use those pinks. Oh, I did use this kind of, I don't know, what do you call it, yellowish brown color. I did use that color when I made my look. So yeah, I will always love this palette. It is very unique to my collection. I pull it out all the time when I'm doing collabs. So yeah, always will be near the top. This is the palette number 3. Okay, palette number 3 is the Nomad Hudson Valley. This is probably I think this is number 2 on my list as far as favorite Nomad palettes go. Love this. What did I use it for? Used this for the Sassy Divas collab last month. Okay, and it did not disappoint. I think we were doing fall looks. So yeah, and this is what I used. I always love this. I pull it out in the fall time. Heck, I'll pull it out anytime, really, to tell you the honest to God's truth. And yeah, makes it beautiful. Now these, when you blend these colors together, they don't turn out muddy. They really don't. And these shimmers, I think you can use a brush with these shimmers. I really believe so. I wish Nomad would go back to their old, I don't know why they won't go back to their old shimmer formula. It's been a while since they have. I think in the Okavango palette, their shimmers were good. Yeah. So yeah. But if you mix a red or an orange and a yellow, it's not going to be muddy with this one. They hit it out of the ballpark with this palette, I think. Not everybody agrees with me on this one, but I think it's really awesome palette. Okay, for the next palette, I have the Somani 2 from Onsai. And I was saying one of the Halloween palettes that was coming out from Onsai looks a lot like this one. There's blues, there are oranges in it. So that's what I was thinking. I don't want to get that one because it reminds me too much of this one. This palette is so awesome. I really love it a lot. It is, what am I saying about it? One of my new favorite colorful palettes. Makes beautiful warm or cool tone looks for a day or night. Even wore one of the looks to work. Now, I'm on 2 different contracts at work. One where they really want you to wear neutral looks. I didn't wear it to that contract. I wore it to the other contract where they don't care as much about what your makeup looks like. Their formula is very, especially in this one, very close to perfection. And their shimmers are so much better than they used to be. Their shimmers used to be so glittery. And they're much less glittery. I want even more now. I'm very interested to see what their holiday palette's gonna look like. I might buy that. I'm not buying their Halloween palettes. So, very interested to see what they have, because I heard last year's holiday was really good, but that's when I was still side-eyeing Onsai. Still wasn't really sure if I liked them or not. Okay, number 1. What is it going to be? Well, if you've been on my channel, I think you know what it's going to be. It's going to be the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. This is my new, well, I don't know. Does it beat the retro palette? I don't know. I think it's up there with the retro palette from Natasha Denona. The retro I like for colorful looks. This one I like for nude looks. But it's definitely my favorite go-to work palette. That is for sure. It is probably my new favorite neutral palette that I own now. I love how it has neutral mauves and pinks in it that go together. And you look at it one way and it looks a little warm. Some of the colors look kind of warm toned. You look at another way, it looks kind of cool toned. You look at a third way, you think that is straight up just neutral territory. It's very deceptive. So the shimmers are just perfect, and they go well with everything in here. You think, well, only these shades go together, and only these shades go together with these. No, all the shades go together with all the other shades. All the shimmers go together with all the shades. Everything goes together with everything, and you can't say that for a lot of palettes. So you don't have to worry too much about putting a look together. And I mean, it's just what do you call it? You don't have to think about it. Is that what I just said? It's just a no-brainer. There's just a no-brainer. And it's just perfect. I love this palette. When I first saw it, I thought, that palette is so basic. I'm not going to buy that palette. It is, for that much money, in this economy. But I had older points, so I went ahead and bought it. And I'm just so glad I did. I'm not saying you have to have it. I'm not, but if you want a good high-end quality neutral palette and you don't have a lot of neutral palettes, then I would say go for this one for sure. Skip Patrick Ta, skip who you call Pat McGrath, whatever. Go for this. Especially if you've tried Natasha Denona before and you like Natasha Denona quality. I'd say go for this. But, if you have a lot of neutral palettes already, I would say skip it. So, alright, those are all the palettes that I used this month. Let me know down below if you have any of these palettes, what you thought of them. What's your favorite palette that you used this month? Let me know everything. Let me know how your day is going. Just everything and anything. How's your Monday going for you? I would love to know. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Share it with your friends if you feel so inclined. But hey, no pressure to do anything any of that. Just you watching to this point in this video really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching, whether you are a returning subscriber, a casual viewer, or this is your very first video watching. Thank you so much for picking this video to watch. If you haven't already, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, setting it to all so that you're notified every time that I upload a new video. So with that all said, I hope you are all having a wonderful, fantastic day today. If you're having an especially hard time, know that I'm thinking about you and sending you out all of those good vibes. Just remember to stay strong, stay healthy, and stay safe out there. And I will see you in another video soon. Just stay well until then. Okay, goodbye.